first glance, this game called Where Winds Meet looks like a pretty awesome action-adventure RPG in a massive open world inspired by Ghost of Tsushima, and with parkour and fantasy elements. It looks and sounds super cool already. I would play it just by knowing this, and the story is looking promising as well. But there's one thing you need to know: the developers of this game are hiding its actual true premise. What is shown in this trailer is not the core of Where Winds Meet. It's not simply about fighting bandits, monsters, and doing simple missions in a simple story. Rather, this game is more like a life simulator. What the creators do not tell you is you can simply decide not to fight, not to do the main story, leave this bandit infested place and go create your own life out in the many locations of the open world. When starting the game, it gives you the story firsthand, tells you what's happening and what your character is here for as a swordsman, but you can simply decide to wander away from the main quest to make a living, healing, trading goods, be a lone wolf out in the forest with your own house, constructing buildings, being a bodyguard, doctor, on a place that people visit, and doing a number of other jobs for NPCs. It will all be your choice, as I said. Other players might want your services too, and you can do jobs for them to gain more money, respect, and the opportunity to have a house and such. Because yes, this game will also have multiplayer. It can be both single player and multiplayer. While the plot and exploratory content will take place in single player mode, Everstone, which are the devs, says that players will be able to opt into multiplayer for specific experiences, like in a survival PvP mode, for example, where you can befriend or kill players, and there's also gonna be world events. In the trailer, a meteorite can be seen falling from the sky, causing a violent impact and damage to the ground. These situations will be played in multiplayer mode, where random environmental changes and destruction will have real effects on players and NPCs in the game. For example, houses may collapse, fires may break out, and players or NPCs may be injured. Based on changes in the natural environment, the gameplay that players can participate in will also change. After a meteorite disaster, players who are playing different roles will need to work together to solve problems. For example, doctors, which can be online players, will need to treat the injured. Firefighters, which again are online players, will need to fight fires. Architects will need to rebuild homes, and etc., all by online players. Small incidents involving individual players will call for specialists like doctors too. For example, players can catch colds after exposure to alternating periods of cold and hot temperature, or injure themselves in falls, according to the studio. If treatment is not timely, wounds or illnesses can get even worse. There's gonna be a public hospital in Where Winds Meet, and you can also request a home visit. Players can post a bounty on the bounty bulletin board to invite doctors, which are players, to visit and treat them. In this game, there is a lot of free exploration, interaction, and play content, which are all derived from life, but combined with unique martial arts characteristics, says Everstone, the developers. For example, players can become a narrator who uses the power of words to convince NPCs to follow their advice. They can also become an architect who builds all kinds of imaginative buildings, or they can become a bodyguard who protects players or NPCs from assassins. The devs have also introduced an NPC behavior control system based on interest and objective decision making. When receiving a large number of events, NPCs can judge the importance of the event and perform appropriate feedback behavior. During environmental events, such as rainfall, NPCs will hide from the rain. NPCs will also watch and help when there are disputes and fights nearby. Personal events such as player collisions, swinging weapons near NPCs, and etc. will make NPCs respond accordingly. And NPCs with different identities and personalities will also trigger different subsequent emotional reactions and may even cause small disturbances. So you may fight a bandit, for example, or a ninja, or a fighter, and you may die because of it. As of now, the game includes a large city, a large wild area, and small towns. For more on Where Winds Meet, like the video right now and subscribe.